Today we're looking back on 2015 in our membership community. Hi, it's Melissa and welcome to Living Your Yoga. Today we're taking a look back on 2015 in our membership community. It's fun to do that at this time of year. So I thought we'd do a walk back through 2015, and I have a few notes here to keep me on track. And when I reflect back on 2015 in our membership community, the thing that really stands out to me is how our community really came together as a community, and the more community and social aspects of our community. So I actually asked all of you in our community, I shared with you some of the highlights for me of the year, what happened over our year, and then I asked you what stood out. And definitely the things that stood out to you were also the community aspects. So actually that really rose to the top. So the thing that was a big for all of us was the Yoga Buddy system that we instigated this year. And there's sort of two aspects to the Yoga Buddy system. One is when you first become a member, we have a buddy system to help new members start to find their way around the membership community, because there's a little bit of a learning curve when you come into a community to just like, so imagine I'm thinking as I'm standing here in Victoria, when I first moved to Victoria, it's like, it's hard to find your way around a new city. So it's like that when you come into our membership community. It's kind of, it takes a little time to find your way around. And so what we do is we compare you up with somebody who's been around for a little bit longer, and they can help you find your way around the parts that you are most interested in finding your way around. And then the other thing that's really great is that for those people who have been around, or even if you're new, the other part of the buddy system is that yoga and meditation can kind of be an isolating practice, and yet it's nice to have somebody who knows what's happening with those that style of practice to talk to you about your practice on as often as you want to on a daily basis. Somebody you can text with or have Skype calls with. You know, we have various aspects of ways that our buddies talk to each other. So our buddies connect with each other in various ways, and they connect with each other about their practice and talk to each other about their practice. And that's been amazing. There's been a lot of incredible friendships that have formed out of that, and myself included. So some of my best friends are in the community. And it's been an amazing way, you know, we all talk about this in the community, that there just aren't people outside of the community that get yoga, that get meditation, that get the way that we're living and integrating yoga in our lives the way that we do. And so to be able to have those kinds of relationships are amazing. So the Yoga Buddy system was the big standout this year. Along the lines of getting to know each other better this year, was the Just Like Me interviews. So I interviewed several of our very active members this year, and it was amazing to get to know their stories, to hear how they came to yoga, to hear the way that they navigate the membership and the parts of the membership that they use the most, but mostly to hear their stories. And that's been a very popular part of our membership community. If you think about it like a podcast within our membership community, you know how you would listen to a podcast in your car, maybe when you're going to and from work, or in the morning or in the evenings. A lot of our members use it that way, and it's been a way that we've been able to get to know each other on a deeper level, and it's something that it's been a very popular section. In addition to that, towards the end of this year, I started interviewing our members privately to one-on-one, some of our most engaged members. And that was amazing too, because I was able to find out just what their biggest challenges were and their greatest aspirations were. And from that, I know moving forward in 2016, I'm going to be able to create even more meaningful content for our members. So the interviews, private ones and the public ones, have just been an amazing way to get to know you and for you to get to know each other. Okay, this year we really opened ourselves up creatively as well. So that was a big theme for me personally. So I actually didn't even include it on my list, but you guys told me about it because I was like, this isn't about me, this is about you. But it was true for you guys as well. So we had a thread that started towards the beginning of the year on mandalas, and then it sort of got picked up later in the year, and it went crazy. And people throughout the year shared their creative projects, and then it got integrated into the weekly challenges where we brought it forward in a more overt way. And I think what happens is when you really create the ground, which is something that's been happening more in my teachings and in our leadership, we've been really creating the ground. When you really clear that channel, it just makes sense that the creativity is just going to start to flow. And we've really been seeing that in our membership community and in the way that people their creativity is just blossoming in all different ways, and that the way that is getting shared in our community. So that's been amazing this year too. We also started coming together as a community once a month in something that we call our monthly motivation meetups. They are very motivational, but what we do is once a month I look at what our members need most, and then I create a theme around that. So I'll be reading the threads on the forum through the month, and then I create like a webinars around that for them, and we come together on that. They're interactive, so they can speak, and we speak to each other. And many of you commented that you really enjoy coming together that way once a month. So it's a way for us to go deeper on a Namaste Yoga series, things that have been going on in the membership community. And that's been amazing for us to come together as a community once a month. And they're very well attended. And it's just a way for us to process our yoga together. So that's been amazing. Another thing that has been really cool this year in the membership community is that we've expanded and solidified and grown the weekly challenges. So every week in the membership community, we put forward a theme, and then there's a class. There's a class for every day, and just the way it's set up now, you come to that area. The membership community is all laid out there for you, and this is just a way for you to be engaged in the membership community on a daily basis. It's no fuss, no muss. It's easy, and it's just been a way for people to come to the membership community every day, to practice every day, to have focus, and it's been amazing. Hannah and Ulrika, I am incredibly grateful to you for your leadership in this area. We just had a meeting this morning. We're planned out till May now. And so it's just really cool. We've been, our membership community has been around for 4 years now, and we're growing up, and, we're really maturing as a community, and you can really see it in that weekly challenge section that, just the way, so we've got the first 6 months of the year mapped out, and there's some pretty amazing leadership there and ways that we take what's happening with Namaste Yoga a lot deeper. So, when people say they want to go deeper with their yoga, that happens in that weekly challenge section. And there's a lot of discussion that happens about your practice in that section, and so that's been really cool to see that area really thrive and grow and develop this year in such a social way. This is the year that we started the postures and pranayam section, and this is the section that has the leading edge research and teaching that sets our community apart from the free Namaste Yoga videos. So this is where the value-added content is that I really save for our members. So here is where the connective tissue practices are. This is where the brain yoga is. This is the traditional Chinese medicine practices, acupressure and meridians, Ayurveda practices, the mythology, the yoga philosophy. And this section really goes deep, incredibly rich content. In fact, when we started doing it, and then it's so involved, we kind of had to back it up and do a whole FAQ section 1 month to answer all the questions that were coming up for it, because it was the content is so new that people are just like, what? Where do I get that ball? Why is this happening? Where is this? What's this foam roller? So we really had to, because it's so new, because it's so leading edge, people just were, it was just, they just didn't know what was happening. So we just had to start right back at the beginning and really get back to the basics and really answer those questions. So as far as the classes, we started out doing a knee chest pose, square breaths, 4 movements of your neck, the Gyan Mudra, Shavasana, and hamstring rescue. And then what happened was we were finding that there was just so much to cover. The classes were getting long, and we like to make classes on the membership short. So then what I decided to do was, for each pose, do several classes per pose, so that I would divide it into short classes. So, for example, I would do a connective tissue class, a brain yoga class, a traditional Chinese medicine class, an Ayurveda class, so that each class had its own focus. And so then we did that for cat pose, so it was really focused on the spine. And then we did that also more recently for tortoise pose, and it worked really well. It meant the classes were shorter and the focus was really specific, and we really liked that. This year we also released, so quietly, probably many of our members didn't even notice this, we released our prenatal yoga classes on the membership community. We resurrected a labor preparation class. Like that one, I think the file was maybe corrupt or something, or it got lost or something. We also released a knee arthritis class. So what happened was we actually stopped selling our videos separately. The only way you can get our videos now is in our membership community. The reason for that is that we can better serve you in there. If you have hip arthritis, then we have 60 videos in our membership community that can support you with hip arthritis. So we just feel like we can better support you. We want to have a lifelong relationship with you. We want to really support you in your journey of yoga. And that's our mission in life. So we just felt it wasn't serving you or us to have that kind of one-time relationship. We wanted to do through something more. So we turned that off. We only have the membership community now. On Monday, December 28th, we're going to be re-releasing my first ever yoga video. It's never been in the membership community. It's Lengthen the Spine Through Breath and Gravity. I always have to relook at that name because we had to rename that video. That's a long story. That was filmed nearly 8 years ago now. So that's going to be fun. So, the other thing that happened this year was, after 4 years as a community, I decided to, after email correspondence with some of you, and even some one-on-one conversations and Skype calls with some of you, I decided to rewrite the rules. So I left that open when I first opened up our membership community, that maybe I would rewrite the rules at some point. So I left that open for myself, that this is how the rules are now, but maybe I would rewrite them at some point. And this year, based on some conversations that I have with some of you that really open my eyes, that I do really listen to all of you, and I do take your conversations seriously. I do take our correspondences seriously. And so what I felt was that over the last 4 years, the land of social media has become more and more pervasive. And although our membership community is online, it's not a social media site. It's a yoga site. It's online, but it's not a social media site. And so, although it shares some of the look and feel of a social media site, it's a completely different thing. It's a space where you enter into relationship with me as your teacher, and with other about 700 or 8 other people as fellow students. And so the etiquette is different. It's very different from a social media space. And so it was really powerful for me to really meditate on that and to reflect on our conversations and to rewrite the rules. And so I'm really glad I did. And actually a lot of you have commented on reflecting on the rules that I rewrote. We're different from other social media platforms, and I welcome the opportunity to continue to have discussions with you about these things, and that's in the rules actually. We finally, this is my last thing, we took some of our best excerpts from Namaste Yoga. So a lot of our members would request, I really like that little meditation. And what we would do is we would just cut that out and we put it in a meditation section in our community. So I'm really cold now. This is one of the coldest days in Victoria. What's that? Yeah. We were going to film a whole bunch today, but I think we're done for now. So it was a great year in 2015 for a community. I think we really came together as a community. I really appreciate all of you who are members of a community. You support each other incredibly. When you're part of our community, you support Namaste Yoga. Without our community, there would be no free show. And you support our family to be able to continue to do this work in the world. So Tim and Trinity and I really appreciate that as well. So thank you. And I would love to hear from you too. If you're a member of our community, I would love to know what stood out for you, and also what you would like to see and have happen in 2016. You can leave it in the comments, or as I say, I welcome the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with you. You can sit down and have a Skype call. I love that too. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.